Yoko, is there anything that I didn't grasp about the bags?
No, I was just saying that I stood in Trafalgar Square in London, you know, wearing that bag before I met John, and I was thinking that if everybody wore this bag, then there wouldn't be any racial war, things like that. In those days, I was sort of really a bit obsessive about things like that, and thinking, oh, well, I should go, you know, in front of White House or something and wear a bag, and if I get shot or something, maybe the whole world would become peaceful, you know, somebody has to, or whatever, you know, things
Another
like that.
crazy idea was if all the world leaders, just before they met, took their trousers down, you know, for the peace meeting, they might have a peace meeting. Or if all the soldiers, before they charge, have to take their trousers down, you see. Nobody could fight in that situation.
That's right.
Well,
you know, I had seriously thought of, before my face was known to a lot of people like it is now, I used to think, you know, the days you want to go out of the apartment or the house, but you don't want to run into anybody or talk to anybody. And I thought of wearing a sack over my head, just with eyes in it. I don't know why people don't do that. But you can't. I found out it's illegal.
To wear a bag?
It's illegal to appear masked in public. I was told.
We've got some great footage in the film.
I have a mask now.
You have a mask now?
We've got great footage in our film we're just making, with a man in a bag wandering all over London, you know. And most people don't take any notice of him. He's just walking around. It's fantastic. Yeah, there's another old bag walking. Some people have made a profession of it. I've seen two Sachs doing comedy show on TV in America, and she was doing this in '61. The first bag event was done in '61, and since I've seen people, like there's a comedy team in America that wear Sachs.
Who appear in Sachs.
Yeah.
There's some that have been asked to, too. What was it the man yelled at in the audience in the Eamon Andrews show in England? I read several clippings in your album called Wedding. It said there were letters to the London Times and other papers saying, thank God someone in the audience finally yelled out to John Lennon what we've all been wanting to say to him. And then with excellent British reporting, they didn't tell what it was.
I don't know what it was. We went on this show.
About that show, you know.
It was a terrible show. Eamon Andrews, who's very nice, is the compere of the show. We went on. And then suddenly, we were doing a peace campaign, and suddenly the audience started shouting all sorts of abuse at us, you know. And we were thinking, what's going on? You know, it's like now, we're just talking, suddenly the audience starts shouting, get your hair cut, and you know, long hairs, go back to where you came from, all that kind of jazz, you know. And they were shouting, the Yehudi Menyon was on there, we're discussing peace, and the Yehudi Menyon goes, sometimes it is necessary to kill. It was a really freaky show, and we were horrified, and the audience was sort of calling names. I'd forgotten what they said. We were just, I was speechless. We were terrified, you know. And I thought they were going to come and attack us. And
was this
people like you know, we fought the war for you, and all that old jazz al-cap crap, you know.
Yes. Was this before or after you had spent your week in bed with all that publicity?
That was,
after, probably.
Because that set a lot of people on edge. But I don't know what they thought.
The same guy, Eamon Andrews, had us, after we'd done one of the bed events in Amsterdam or Toronto, had us on his show, and he did the show from a bed. So he was nice, you know. He said, well, you know, he thought we were genuine in our demonstration for peace, but a lot of people say, well, we don't want you to demonstrate for peace that way. We want you to do it our way. You know, that's what usually upsets people. But we're individuals, and we like to do things that are more conceptual than anything else, you know, where the idea is more important than whatever you're doing or the painting. And that's how we like to do things, so we don't fit into most people's bags.
So to speak.
Well, nobody should fit into anybody else's bag, you know. We should all have
our own bags, you know.
But you know that when you did that week in bed, I don't know if everyone still knows exactly what happened. I'm sure people think that tremendously lurid things took place, and the press was, I think, expecting...
Well, the first time we did it in Amsterdam. You see, we were getting married. We knew we were going to get married, and we knew we were going to get chased by the press. And Yoko had always been doing things for peace. All her work was, like she said, she'd been standing in Trafalgar Square, and she'd done lots of different things for peace as an individual. And when she married me, I said, look, I'm not going to stand in Trafalgar Square. I'll get slaughtered, you know. So she wanted to work for peace. We had to sit round and think of something we could both do together. We were going to get married, and we knew we'd just seen Jackie Onassis and whatever, you know, Aristotle and that. And all the chasing, and we're not as big as them, but all that chasing that they had, and they couldn't get away. Even with all those millions, he couldn't get away. So we thought, hey, we're going to be chased. So let's invite them round, you know. Let's use this occasion, instead of just saying, oh, whoopee, John and Yoko got married, the front page. There's no news in that. let's use this, that we're going to be in the papers, let's use this space and just say peace instead. So what we did was we invited them to our so-called honeymoon. And they all thought we were going to make love in bed, you see, and all the press from all around the world came, and we opened our helpers opened the door, and they fighting to get in, like this with the cameras. And then their faces dropped, we were sitting like angels saying, hello, peace, brother. And all their faces dropped, and we were just in bed. And we thought it was a great practical joke that most of the world's headline newspapers, especially the European and British, was, married couple are in bed. Whoopee. It makes a change.
It's a novelty.
Yeah.
But, I really wonder about that, because we are actually pretty sort of square, nice old couple. I mean, sort of quiet and all that. And how did they ever think of that,
Because we've done
I can't imagine. I think of you as Arthur and Catherine Murray.
That's very nice. I think of you and Ozzie and Harriet Clark.
Oh, you didn't have.
Where's Dick? Where's Rick over there? Mom's having ice cream.
Pardon me. Didn't they get a vice squad out after one city, Amsterdam or somewhere, announced that the vice squad was going
when they heard we were going to
close your bed or
they
something?
thought it was going to be all that, you see, because people have such devious minds that mostly sort of have these strange ideas about our life, which is fairly normal, actually, in an abnormal situation. And so there was talk about that, but of course all we did was talk from bed. All we did was allow the press in, because they're always asking to interview us. And instead of giving them 3 minutes, we just said, you can have as long as you want, ask anything you want. You always think there's something to hide. Well, ask anything, and we gave them all as much time as we want for 7 days from the time we started it to the time we ended it. And they asked us everything, and we talked to people from Czechoslovakia, reporters, Hungary, and all around the world. And we did a lot of communication with the young people in the east part of the world, people from Russia and everywhere. And we thought that was good to communicate with them and allow them to ask, even if it's what did you have for breakfast, over and over again. We answered everything they wanted to know.
Weren't you exhausted at the end of it?
Yeah.
You didn't do it for money?
No, because our cap said that we did it for money.
Did it for money. We didn't make any money on it. We made a documentary of that, which we might get some bread on now because it might go out. But up till now, people said we made money out of our peace events. We're probably quite a few dollars in the red from the peace events, but we don't care because that's what we think we ought to do.
Is it possible that you or any of the other three fellows could have financial problems the rest of your life?
Well, you can always get unlucky and turn into Mickey Rooney and have to work for your tax, or Joe Louis. There's always that danger. But if your manager's all right, well, you're all right then,
Hello.
Hi, Al.
Do you ever wish it hadn't all happened, John?
Well, I don't regret anything in my life, really, because I've met Yoko and I'm very happy with her. And I feel as though if I didn't go through all that I went through, I wouldn't be with Yoko now. So I don't regret the past. I was just trying to live for this moment. So I don't, I once said, I wish I was a fisherman, meaning I wish I didn't have the kind of mind that makes me want to perform in public, whatever, make records, make films, always be working. I wish I was satisfied to just be peaceful and, living. I thought fisherman was so easy, you just get your breakfast out of the water, you eat it and you go to bed. It's a simple life. I have a sort of longing for that. I think everybody does. Like, I dream of us being an old couple on the south coast of Ireland or something. I remember when we were on Dick Cavett, and being a nice old couple like that.
It's really a miracle that we met because, I come from Tokyo and he comes from Liverpool. And, as he says,
Mark Twain
we
was
wouldn't
wrong.
have had...
The twain shall meet.
The twain met.
All right.
Excuse us.
Way,
We will.
Excuse us.